before I start this video, spoilers, obviously, for the end of Mass Effect 3, and probably various spoilers from throughout the game, Mass Effect's timeline or whatever. But, I first let me say that I'm actually glad that I'm not the only one who was devastated by how, or not, some people were devastated, some people were just mildly upset, in between. I'm not the only one that was upset, at least, by how awful Mass Effect 3's ending was in its various ways. It's only been, game's already out for 2, 3, 4, like 5 days. Now already people are getting tired of hearing how people that don't care or do like the endings are already tired of how, like, they're tired of hearing people like me bitch about the endings, but the endings are just so awful. In a game like especially in a game like Mass Effect, like, in video game stories and stuff, I enjoy a good story, it's like watching a movie, like watch a TV show, something like that, but I never get into the story. I never really like I want the outcome to be happy and stuff like that, and make sense and stuff. I don't really get into the stories all that much into video games, just because I've been gaming since I was like 8, but Mass Effect 3 is the first game in a long while that I can actively recall, like, not just enjoying the story, but really, really getting into the story. I mean, I was so enthralled from like the first 10 minutes, and which is one of the reasons the endings are so awful, is because they don't do the rest of not just the rest of the game, the rest of the series, the credit that they deserve. Like, really, Mass Effect 1 and 2, like, 2 of the best games I've ever played. Like, just from the first Mass Effect, once I heard that there was going to be a trilogy, I'd already put Mass Effect in my top 5 series ever. Like, just from the first game, that's how much I enjoyed, the story, the characters, the gameplay. Like, it all was just, like, mind-blowing to me. 2 came out, they went in kind of different direction, more action RPG, or action-y shooter, all that jazz. But, like, I enjoyed third-person shooter, so it was still, it had RPG elements, but it was still really, really good to me. So I was not let down at all. I was actually kind of glad, because it was a bit like a different experience. You had ammo, just kind of took away the grenades. I didn't like that, but stuff with the Omni Gel and stuff like that. But like, I enjoyed the different, like, way it played. It was a different experience. Mass Effect 1 played how it played. Mass Effect 2 played how it played. And 3 comes along, and I was just, I haven't been this hyped for a game. Last time I was hyped, I can't even think, really. But, lost my train of thought. God damn. It's been hard to think, hard to concentrate, really. Because I was just so horrendously let down. I completely fucking forgot what I was talking about, Mass Effect. Oh, how they played, yeah, that's right. Then the Mass Effect 3 came out, and I was just so hyped. So hyped. And then the first hour, I was like, oh, okay, this game is amazing. Gameplay, story, loving it. I'm not disappointed at all. From the very beginning up until the assault on the Shadow Broker's base, the game is just so fucking amazing. Like, the story in this game is just insanely good. Like, I've never felt such a wide variety of emotions during a single game. Like, times it makes you happy, smile. Sometimes it makes you just sad, like depressed, angry. Like, I never wanted to wrap my hands around the throat of a video game villain before, up until the Elusive Man. Him and Cerberus, they just excuse my language, but they butt fuck you at every single opportunity they can. Kai Ling and his confrontation with Thane, that pissed me off. That alone was enough to just be like, oh well, Cerberus, fuck that. They're like a spanner in the works. If you catch that, they're like the villainous version of Spanner in the Works, and they do it so well, and it's just so goddamn annoying. But it's like a good annoying, because it just plays on the story so good, and it gets you like, you want to hurt Cerberus. You want to take every shot you can at them motherfuckers, like, really. And then the stuff they were doing at Sanctuary, that threw me for a pretty big loop. Like I didn't see that coming, but I mean they're indoctrinated, so come on now. But like the story is so good. Like on Tuchanka, when I do Paragon run throughs, like I every once in a while do a Renegade run through just to see what it's like. But for the most part, I always do a Paragon run through, like pure Paragon. So when I got there, oh, and for the basis of my experience, I've only beat the game once. Perfect 1, 2, 3 run through, like uploads, full Paragon. I did every little. I did the perfect golden ending for Mass Effect 2, which I'll go into later, like how good Mass Effect 2's endings was. But I got to Chanka when Morning gets up to the Shroud, and it's like it's falling apart after the Mini Reaper Thresher Maul fight. And he gets up there and he loads the data, and he just looks at the camera, smiles, and goes, "It's a new beginning for all of us." And then he explodes. Like I was just like, tear. Like I was so sad. Because I love Morning. Morning's fucking hilarious. He's like one of the best characters from Mass Effect 2, like hands down, bar none. Morning was a boss, and they killed the boss. I was like, oh god, such an ambiguous, you know. It was unexpected, I guess. I honestly thought he was gonna come out that alive or something like that, but no, he's gone. He sacrificed himself for the greater good, and it made me feel. And same with Legion, like Corey and Geth at the end of the, you stop a 300-year war before it really gets into motion. And the Legion, in his final moments, he gains, individuality, and then he sacrifices himself to get the Geth, like higher intelligence and stuff like that. And I did a thing. I took a third option. If you catch that, if people watching this catch that as well, on that, I united the Geth and the Quarians, and then like I was just like various emotions throughout the entire game, but it was just like I was just golf clapping the entire time. I was like, this game's amazing. I love it. I was planning to beat that game like 5,000 goddamn times. I was just gonna play this for like the next like 5 years. I was just gonna rape this game. And then I get to the Shadowbroker base, and the final mission's going, and I'm excited. And then freaking I get the Citadel gets taken to Earth, and you get up, and then you do the mission. You get blasted by the Reaper beam, and I was like, oh shit, well, that's not good. I was hoping. Another thing I was hoping is that like there's 3 endings to this game, and based on your color preference, I guess. But I was hoping like there's gonna be a wild variety of endings, ranging like how Mass Effect 2 did it, ranging from horribly depressing if you do it wrong, if you just rush through it and don't do side missions, and you don't certain stuff you don't do right, to like hooray, you did everything you possibly could, the best ending ever. I was expecting them to make you earn your happy ending, but there is no happy ending. That's one of my main gripes about it, because I'm a sap, and I absolutely love gold. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to watch a sad event happen, but especially on endings, like with More Than Legion, it was sad, but it made me feel, it didn't take away from the game at all. But endings, I want a happy ending. I don't want the hours I put in this game to result in me failing and people dying, and not. I don't want that. I don't want that. People that do, good for you. That's your opinion. That's your preference. You more power to you. I really don't care. But for me, I like happy endings. But you get up to the Reaper, you get up to the thing, and then with the conference with Tim and Anderson, when you started when the conversation wheel started popping up during that whole conversation, you could do checks. I was like, oh shit, I'm about to make this. I'll make this guy pull a Saren. I was so happy because it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, could it? And it did, and I was just like, yes, they delivered. BioWare delivers once again. They read my mind. And then you get up to the Crucible. Anderson's dead, and I was just like, oh, God, another cool character. Honestly, I didn't like the way he died, because Anderson's the only death that I thought was just unnecessary. It was motherfucking bull. But we get up there, and then Vic God kid shows up out of nowhere, and he just like, oh, I made the Reapers, but 3 choices. What's your color preference? The end. Like, gives you 3 choices of endings, and they're all the same, basically, how you want to destroy the Reapers, more or less. But the things that people are pissed about, at least for me, like the fact that there's no, after the end, like Fallout, New Vegas, and Dragon Age Origins, especially Dragon, because BioWare's done it before, Dragon Age Origins, the first in a series, had an after the end thing, like, this character went off to do this, and they lived happy ever after, and this person went off to do this, and they were never heard from again, like that stuff. Like, people want closure, they want to know what choices they made affected the galaxy at the end. And they not only do they do that, but then they kill the Mass Effect universe by destroying the mass relays. Like, what? Sorry, but you guys, BioWare, if anyone happens to watch this, you guys have lost a fan in me. So I don't really care about you guys anymore. I've lost all hype for anything you're ever going to do ever again. This ending's awful. And it hurts, you know? But what retard thought it was a good idea to destroy the mass relays? Like, no matter what, you cannot stop that from happening. Whoever greenlighted that idea, thought of it, you're retarded. End of discussion. End of thread. Nothing. You're stupid, and I hate you. And I don't hope you die. I mean, that's harsh thing to wish on anyone for, making a game. But I hope you get hurt. I hope you get fired. You don't deserve to work as a video game story writer because you suck. But that's, whatever. But and you get 3 endings, and then for some reason the Normandy is retreating for no good reason. Your squad mates get teleported up there for no good reason, no explanation. They get stranded on a random planet for no reason. Like, just like plot holes in the space magic and your 3 colors and your variations on your endings are minimal. And then even before that, I can't remember. I was on a thread earlier today on GameFAQs, and a dude made a post, and it was just like, it summed it up perfectly about the whole your impacts. It just doesn't make an impact even before the ending. Like, it was like killed the Rat Knight Queen in Mass Effect 1. She gets cloned in Mass Effect 3. Put Anderson on the council because Udina's a jerk. Udina's the counselor in ME3, but apparently that was explained in one of the side stories. And one was like, what were all they? I was like, I had to go back. You have to find it. It was, if that sounds familiar to anyone, link to the thread, because it was just like a quick 6-7 list of things that your choices just instantly get thrown out the fucking window. And it was a good post, but they're just plot holes, not giving the series an ending that it deserves. It's just such a disappointment, really. And then there are rumors going around that they did this on purpose. Like they did this shitty ending on purpose to make people pay for DLC who want to end the series on a not just abomination of a note. It's just so awful of an ending. They did this on purpose to make people get DLCs, to get epilogues and post-mission stories. One of my friends was saying maybe they'll explain it as in since at the end it's apparently the entire series has been told in a story, the ending of the story was altered to be more dramatic. Maybe so that Shepard didn't actually sacrifice himself and you actually get to see what really happened, or some bull. But it's even I bought every piece of DLC for Mass Effect 2. I was BioWare's whore. I supported the shit out of them. I didn't buy the arena for the Mass Effect 1 because by the time I had the money to, Mass Effect 2 had come out, and there was DLC coming out, so I was like, I'll just save my money for this since it's relevant. But I did buy Bring Down the Sky as soon as I could. It was a good DLC. I liked it. I liked the DLC for Mass Effect 2, your 2 partners, and then Project Overlord. The thing with the ship was really gay in my opinion. I didn't enjoy that at all, but Project Overlord, Arrival, and Lair of the Shadow Broker, awesome stuff. I bought from Ashes day one, even because I wanted my own Prothean. I won't even lie, but I'm not buying any of the only DLC I'm buying for Mass Effect 3 is if they do it, a DLC that maybe provides you with some options on the ending, maybe getting a happier one. Even if not, maybe as much as I really really want a happy ending where me and Ashley get to live on a beach somewhere, maybe go live on Rannoch with Tally or whatever, Tally and Garrus, because I bought them on the battery. That shit just made me laugh so bad. I was just like, I poked a hole in her suit, and I needed him to help me patch it up and stuff. That shit just had me on the floor laughing. I was like, you two are a great couple, because they're two of my favorite characters. I just on my Fem Shep run through, I romanced Liara, and my Shepaloo romance, I romanced Ashley, as I just said. But damn me on the floor, and this stuff with Garrus on the Citadel, and I was hoping to go back to the Citadel and get some sniping practice and keep us up to shape just in case the bottles start to get any crazy ideas. like stuff like that. There's so much stuff that I wanted to know what happens at the end, and Bioware's just like, we're really good story writers, and we're amazing story writers, and we should know how an ending goes. We're just not gonna put a good one in, like. And then like some dude on Twitter was like, "Oh, if you guys knew what we were gonna do with DLC, you keep your copy forever. We shouldn't need fucking DLC to get a good ending. Like, DLC is supposed to be optional content to increase your experience, but not like you shouldn't need DLC to take a game from complete fucking bullshit to great. It should just be great in the first place, and then it's like baking a cake great and then putting in a delicious icing on it. The cake should already be good. You shouldn't need like awful. Like I said, I'm no longer a fan of BioWare. I lost all hype from Dragon Age. Maybe I'll rant Dragon Age 3, but I'm not buying Dragon Age 3. I'm glad that I'm not sure if you can pre-order it yet, but I'm glad I haven't checked because I'm not going to. I was gonna buy Dragon Age 2 too. I was gonna get Dragon Age 2 and the DLC for that, the thing with Felicia Day and then Sebastian. I was gonna get that. Not anymore. Fuck, Bioware's not getting any. The only money, like I said, as much as I don't want to admit it, I will download ending DLC for Mass Effect 3 if they release some, but whether they do or don't, Bioware's lost a fan. And they probably don't care, they don't give a fuck if they lost a fan or not, because once they were indoctrinated by EA, once they were, partnered up with EA, indoctrinated, all they give a shit about is money now, apparently, just like EA does. So, I mean, screw them. They lost fan in me, but they don't care, but they've lost a source of money in me, which they do care. Maybe they'll learn from this and not do the same with Dragon Age 3, because as much as I don't give a shit anymore about BioWare, I love the Dragon Age series, and people hate on Dragon Age 2, but I love that game. And I want Dragon Age 2 to be amazing. I want it to end the series on a good note, which Mass Effect 3 was supposed to do without having DLC, but, I don't care anymore. It's just so disappointing. I don't know if anyone feels like the same way I do, and I'm not sure if I've provided a good enough example. But, let me try, just in case I haven't. I can't even barely remember what we talked about, but Mass Effect 2, the ending, I think Mass Effect 2, did it perfect. It was possible to get a golden, super awesome, happy ending, but you had to work for it. You had to skip for materials, and you had to pay attention to your ship upgrades, because there's 3 upgrades that you had to get, prevent 3 random characters from dying, and you had to leave on the suicide mission as soon as you got it, and you had to have every character's loyalty, and you had to pass the 2 Paragon Renegade checks between Jack and Miranda and Tally and Legion to prevent losing one of their loyalties. Only then, after doing all of that, resources, upgrade, loyalties, checks, leaving ASAP, and I almost forgot, and pay attention to the characters and what they can do to put them in the right roles for the suicide mission. Only after doing all of that, which is not easy, because if it was easy, it would happen on its own. But you have to work for it. You have to pay attention. You have to know what you're doing. Once you do that, then and only then do you get your golden ending. And that's how I thought Mass Effect 3 was going to do. They were promising us super awesome endings, and where you're there's wide variety of endings where everything mattered, and you get to see what happens, and you get all you get is your 3 gay variations of what color do you want your space magic to be, while we ruin everything Mass Effect has ever been by just stranding galactic civilization from each other. One of the things that really upset me was after uniting the Geth and Quarians and taking back the homeworld and getting one of my favorite squad members' homes back to her, she never gets to see it again. And then the Vent God kid, whatever, Deus Ex Machina bitch, is synthetics or organics can't live together because I say so. Yeah, deal with it. Shepard's oh, okay. There should be a check there where you're just no. Look at Edie and Joker. Self-aware, knows how humans work. Self-aware AI and a human together. Love. Bam. Loved it. Coins and Geth. 300-year war in the making, averted within seconds. And then the Geth go out of their way to help the Quarians. Tali tells you that they were helping rebuild the planet and then helping boost their immune systems and stuff like that with their suits. And I was just whoa, this is awesome. And the Vent God kid's oh, they can't live together. Sorry. Choose your 3 colors of your space magic. Just so much disappointment. That's just me. Out of the 10 people that are gonna watch this video. What are your opinions on it? Let me know. Whatever. Yeah, that's just my take on it.